We are live. Welcome to my video. These are going to be my thoughts on Season 2, Episode 1 of The Gifted. This episode is called eMergence. Another episode I love. Spoilers for everything live-action X-Men leading up to and including this episode. Not for anything that came out after this episode first premiered. Let's see. I think the show is rated TV 14. So will this video be? Let's dive right in. Yeah, so glad to be watching this show again. This, yeah, really solid season opener. Really hit the ground running. Some really great action. They do a good job reminding viewers what the various powers are, in case, you know, yeah, since there's some months between the two seasons airing, in case anyone's forgotten. Or hypothetically, they started watching here for whatever reason, since, you know, the previously on just barely brings you up to speed. But yeah, you know, the raids are quite intense. There's a lot of them, and we get some really great stuff about the Hellfire Club and now the Inner Circle. So yeah, Riva, it really is great, this thing. You know, I find it's better to ask to get forgiveness. Did she say beg forgiveness? Anyway, then ask permission, and you know, then by the end of the scene, forgive me. That was so good, so good. But yeah, the you know, she's explaining, such as it is, the you know, her actions, and yeah, the guy's not really having it. The various other council members also aren't really. Love a good sarcastic slow clap. That's more people should do that. I'd like to at some point in real life be able to do that. It seems like such fun, very satisfying. But yeah, I would definitely argue that what Riva and the triplets do was always the plan, because the triplets spring into action like nothing. Like, they're not like, oh, are we doing this? Like, this is not improvisation. This is like, time for the plan, you know? So yeah, she was basically like just trying to hold back for as long as she could, and finally it's just like, okay, you know what, never mind. And you know, she uses her power on him and some of the other mutants there. Very cool. You know, several of them, I am not sure what their powers were, but it's cool that they at least try to use them. And it is clear, you know, everyone at the table is a mutant. These are not the kinds of people who would want, you know, they don't trust humans at all. You know, the Resistance at least works with a few, not necessarily more than they have to, but a few. But the Inner Circle, 100%. Yeah. And I really like the detail that the triplets, you know, you could have just been boring and just had them sit at the table and fire their guns, but they all get up and they start, like, walking in a circle, which, in addition to being a much more memorable visual, that's also, from what I understand, a really good way to avoid, like, it's harder to hit a moving target. You know, you're trying to figure out, you know, where are they going to go? Are they going to keep moving? Or are they going to stop? This kind of thing, you know. And just, yeah, that was really cool. And they end up, all of them, you know, they shoot everybody but the one guy. And then at the end, they all point their guns at him. And Reva goes, forgive me. And then they shoot it. That was, yeah, really badass. And yeah, we've just been told everything the triplets did in season 1, that was on Reva's orders. And that was when she was, like, trying to be a little bit covert about it. She didn't want them to you know, yeah, she didn't want it too big, didn't want to draw too much attention. Now the people that she wanted to keep things hidden from are all dead. You know, this really sets up, she's going to go even more extreme this season. So yeah, very cool. Looking forward to seeing more of that. And yeah, it's very clear the inner circle are very much supremacists. We also see, their vision of like, I feel like definitely their vision of the what the triplets show Lorna doesn't really look so much like, harmony, which is what the X-Men want. It looks like supremacy, which is what the Brotherhood and Hellfire Club Inner Circle want. So yeah. And and Lorna reaffirms that is what she wants. And you can I don't blame her. Reva, I feel like is I don't see her coming back around, but I wouldn't rule out Lorna might be able to if she just feels confident that her, yeah, she, Marcos, and the baby will be safe. Now let's see. I think that just about covers the... Yeah, I continue to really, really like... I can't believe I'm... Yeah, it's been too long. Okay, I'm gonna real quick look. The name... Claire... Yeah, right. Yeah, Clarice. Yeah, she's just such a fun character. Early on with Lauren being like, this again, and Clarice is like, got a problem, sunshine? And I really like the, her reaffirming, reassuring Christina, yeah, gotta find his name, John, amazing tracker, he found her in season 1, so yeah. And let's see, we have the, Clarice and John are very, very sweet together. And this thing of like, she really, really loves when he does the dishes, and that is an actual thing. There's a lot of women who really, really appreciate when a guy is willing to help out around the house. And I think that brings us into let's see. Yeah, I'm legitimately quite invested in Christina and her sister. I really want to see where the... Yeah. Yes, I think that's all I'll say about that. Yeah, really great when Clarice portals in and Lauren uses her powers to slow down Sentinel services, and they do manage to get a lot of them out of there. But yeah, Christina's sister still out there. I really appreciate that they didn't feel the need to show us, when Clarice and John go. It was a neat detail with, she puts in contacts and covers up her face markings, and she said, I can't see the portals. Also, I look basic. Yeah, she's a mutant and proud. I love to see, minorities who are not ashamed of my minority status. And let's see, but yeah, we don't need to see them, walk over to the place, not be able to, I mean, they're it's basically them reaching a dead end and then being like, I guess we'll go home. We don't need to see it because we're gonna see them tell Christina. The important thing here is Christina's reaction to that, and right, I like the thing of, maybe you could practice the portals. That's like asking someone to practice throwing darts blindfolded in a hurricane. I mean, she's not really wrong. The portals we've seen can be extremely dangerous. There was that part where she was wounded in season 1, and all the portals, yeah. And let's see. And that is also a good detail. I could imagine it's like that in the comics as well, that, if she wears contacts, she can't see where the portals, because it is like, I can't see where my portals, I mean, I can't see where portals are going if I could make them. Yeah, you'd imagine they would need some kind of extra thing, extra sense, I guess, or special vision for that. Now, let's see. Yeah, I felt like they did a really good job throughout this episode, really showing, the resistance are really being pushed. And, some of the inner circle are also not doing super well. Um, there's also some, people are nervous about Riva. Perhaps especially Lorna is nervous about Riva. And this thing, she's, it's been 6 months. Did not expect her to give birth this early in this season. And she's heard rumors about the inner circle, and it's one of those things. I can imagine some people might say, well, the only people in the room were the triplets and Riva. Yeah, but people knew that there were more inner circle members, and now they haven't seen them for 6 months. That's gonna be like, if they left entirely of their own accord, then why did they just disappear like that? That seems like it's, that's suspicious. That's weird. And let's see, I thought they did a really great job with, she's, sorry the baby was kicking, since she moved a, what was it, 3,000-pound car, or was it, wait, did they say 6,000? Yeah, I forget exactly. Is that like 3 tons in real numbers? Seriously, America, get with the metric system. Anyway, very clever that they build this, little area for her to be inside so that the metal, and she still does attract too much metal. It almost goes wrong, and she's sending the electrical signals. I did feel like that was a slightly weird line. When like Reed looks at all the electrical charges, and he's like, "Are you sure this is her?" I just want Marcus to turn around. Are you for real right now, dude? Like, that's just like, I get that they needed Marcos to say, I know her powers, but just like have Reed say, this certainly does look like Lorna, and Marcos say, oh, you have no idea. Like you have no idea. She's good. The X2 line, Magneto about Mystique, something like that. But that just felt like that part of X2 where Cyclops is like, if you ask me, Magneto's behind this, and there's like nobody who knows anything about Magneto thinks that Magneto sent a failed, an assassin who would fail to like. I'm not saying he would never try to assassinate some, government person. First of all, he wouldn't fail. Second of all, how would killing the president help? Anyway, that line's always bugged me. That line has bugged me for 20 years. It'll bug me for at least another 20. Yes, back to the and the resistance almost gets to the but the delivery, it's one of those magic Hollywood deliveries where there's complication. Oh, we solved the complication, and then the baby's just born in like, I don't know, I guess a matter of minutes. Or I suppose it's possible that it was like deceptive editing, and in reality they were further away, and it took even so, it feels like they weren't driving for that long. I really enjoyed Clarice like, how many times do I gotta tell you I'm not a wizard? I really, really like Clarice. Just, Anyway, really like the tension of, Andy and Lauren, great, some great editing this episode. When Clarice and John get out of the car, well, let's go. And then it cuts, and then we're not seeing them, but we're seeing all these names. We're seeing Kate and Marcos. That's it. yeah, that was a great, because again, we don't need to see them get out of the car and go over there and we don't need to see the others approaching either. We just need to see them arrive. And yeah, yeah, other great cut, Lauren saying, "I need some time alone," and then it looks like, oh, I guess she went outside, I need some air. What does that mean? Why did I say that? But and sees him, and it turns out to be a dream, a nightmare, or a premonition. And yeah, she didn't go outside, she went to bed, and we didn't see it. We just assumed, because of cinematic shorthand, oh, she must have gone outside, even though we didn't see her open the door, we didn't see her go into the bedroom. So very, very nicely done. And yeah, obviously, Lauren is really, really anxious that Andy's gonna, she's gonna meet, she's gonna see Andy again somewhere, and he's going to force her to use her powers with him, and this, just, yeah. I don't really have an opinion on his hair color change yet. I mean, now it basically matches Lauren's. Yeah, I don't really have an opinion. The leather jacket is a nice touch. You know, he's like, well, I'm a bad guy now. I might as well dress like a bad guy out of the '80s. He looks like a high school bully or something. It's just, I think they might have been trying to like make him look older and more dangerous, but it's very cute. Like, it feels like something he would do. It feels like a teenage boy trying to be like adult and awesome and, look at me, as like, I don't know if that is 100% what they were going for, but that is the effect, and I think that works, because that's, yeah, Andy is not the most, his powers can be intimidating, but beyond that, he's not the most intimidating person, as much as at times he would definitely like to be. Let's see. Yeah, I quite appreciate, Lauren pointing out, we got to stop acting like he was kidnapped. We didn't lose him, he left. And right, I really like when the triplets, they get into the building, you don't need to see our names. Hey, sorry. And then they go in and it's like, I can't do that. Yes, you can. The question is, are you going to do this the easy way or the hard way? We can make you. And just, yeah, I don't know. I keep really, really liking when the triplets speak in unison. I did quite like ultimately, Riva wasn't interested in sacrificing the baby, and yeah, Andy, to his credit, standing there, like, facing off against these mutants that are, like, yeah, he's strong as well, but, like, if they really wanted to, there's no, it's not like he's going to be able to resist the triplets and their telepathy, so, but yeah, he tried to stand up for the baby's safety, and, I mean, at this point, he spent so much effort naming the baby, he really wants it to live. But yeah, Riva did want the baby. I don't think it's out of empathy necessarily. I think it might just be that she thinks Lorna will be easier to deal with if nothing happened to the baby. And let's see. I think that might just about... Yeah. Let's see. I like the time-lapse photography showing that, well, not quite time-lapse, but the fading showing, Lauren stayed, Kate stayed after everyone else left, and into the night. It's dark in the place by the time she leaves. And, she gets rid of the rubber glove, which feels wasteful to me. Couldn't you keep using the obviously now unsanitary glove? Anyway, yeah, let's see. She's so determined to find Andy again that, she talks to Marco about, let's deal with, yeah, let's deal with Wire. I guess she's just really wants to see, I want to say Michael Chiklis. Or is that The Shield? Crap. Yeah, it's... Anyway. Yes. The Wires. Michael B. Jordan, I think, was on that show. Anyway. Which, like, everybody wants to see Michael B. Jordan. So that's, yeah, same. And but yeah, you know, they go there and, you know, yeah, this thing, you know, I thought we agreed this would be a one-on-one meeting. It's okay. She's also interested. Do you not watch these things, Marcos? An interested, uninvited friend is worse. And the you know, yeah, and he's like, don't worry. You know, Amy Acker here is cool. Did you not watch Alias Season 5? Okay, that's fair enough. It wasn't that good. But she was badass in it. But yeah, and is very cool, his like hacking superpower. And yeah, you know, he says he wants more money and explains afterwards, you know, because he's terrified of them. And, you know, then he says, you know, maybe they'll pay money to get you, and we have the brief fight. And I do quite like, you know, yeah, Kate was indeed prepared. You know, she knocks away the gun. You know, I guess John did do more than have her do a few push-ups. And let's see. That was a very nice little expectation subversion, because we go into it thinking, oh, she's not gonna... they really need to de-escalate the situation, but no, she was 100% prepared. And, you know, yeah, she does take a bullet, but, you know, being, you know, yeah, with her education, she can tell, you know, what was it she said? It grazed a rib or something like that. Yeah. That makes me... yeah. Now I kind of got a jonesing for some honey grazed ribs. Anyway, yeah, and yeah, they do manage to get the others to put the guns down. Well, yeah, to convince him to have them put the guns down. And let's see, that just... but yeah, and they do get the USB stick out of that whole thing. And yeah, the thing about, you know, yeah, they wrote their address on the secret money transfer. And let's see. Yeah, I do really appreciate, you know, we're still seeing, you know, there is some, you know, some of Marcos's dark nature, dark past is still very much present. You know, he is going to sometimes take chances and do things that John is not a big fan of. And some of the others also think, you know, goes too far. And yeah, very tense with, you know, Reed's hand and the ringing in his ears and such, which, you know, I can't say I exactly relate to the hand thing, but like ringing in your ears, I mean, that's just what happens when you hear Donald Trump speak. Wouldn't necessarily worry about that, but the hand, yeah. And I think that might just about cover everything. Yeah, just really, really solid episode. Really looking forward to seeing more. They did a good job setting up, you know, some of what I imagine, hopefully they're going to follow up on what seems to be the focus of this season. I'm not going to restate that. I already talked about that earlier in the video. I got to try not to repeat myself too much. Yeah, I think that covers... yeah, I really appreciate, you know, Sentinel services are still very much being shown. Like, it is... you know, they're still very much doing the civil rights metaphor. You know, it's ridiculous excessive force. You know, like they bust into this one place that has, you know, mutants hiding, and like the parents are clearly surrendering. They're, you know, and they still get shot. You know, there's just and the police brutality against that one mutant. You know, they already got him in a net. You know, there's absolutely no need to beat him with the nightsticks like that. You know, it's extremely reminiscent of real life civil rights violations. And you know, these days it makes me especially think of like migrants and such, immigrants. It's also some, you know, pro-Palestine protesters and such. I think that was everything that I really wanted to make sure to say. Let's see. Yeah, so IMDb trivia. Skylar Samuels and Grace Byers have been added to the main cast. Right, Grace Byers, who plays Reva, and the "Don't do drugs" line was ad-libbed by Amy Acker. That was quite fun, and it did absolutely feel like something she would say in the circumstance. So yeah, that was quite good. I think ad-libs are often best when they feel in character. And honestly, I wouldn't even necessarily have guessed. It felt so, it fit so well, you know. I feel like is there maybe one more thing? Right, I like that the baby's name is Dawn, like the dawning of the age of mutant acceptance, or some you know, yeah, something along those lines. Yeah, that thing about, you know, make sure the you know, the screws, the double bolts or something like that. Yeah, we're doing that. Maybe double check. And yeah, I think that might just about. Yeah, really appreciate the intensity of Marcos there at the end. You know, he really, yeah, he genuinely is terrified that something is going to happen to Lorna or the baby. You know, and the fact that, yeah, the others can't say for sure if she's okay. You know, the I feel like there's a joke in there about how bad a lot of men are when it comes to pregnancy. Can't even tell the difference between if the baby and mother are okay, if the birthing process went exactly as hoped. But yeah, yeah, that is everything for this one. Really looking forward to the next one. Gonna try to make it really soon. So glad to be watching this show again. Yeah. Yes, hope to catch you when I do the next episode.